Hey guys, what is up? What's going on? I hope everybody's had a great weekend and a great beginning of the year. So I wanted to put this video together about the MR2 we had got from our buddy up there at 904 Motorsports. We haven't really posted much anything since we picked the car up last year. We've been trying to get so much other stuff done in the shop and just way too busy. I finally mocked some stuff up that I've been contemplating on doing, and you guys know us, we love our first gen stuff. So all along when our buddy Danny had the car, it was together with the third gen cylinder head. The car ran great, made good power. I'll actually put a video up real quick right here on when it was on the dyno. On low boost, it made about, right above 600 horsepower at about 23 pounds of boost. Check it out.
Let's do it, bro. Let's get some boost in there.
What are we doing?
We got no boost. We want up to 30 pounds, bro.
30 pounds earlier.
We want 30 pounds.
So what we did that day was the car originally was on pump ethanol fuel. And then I went up there with one ethanol and he got some VPX98, and we were just trying different things to see if it would make more power from obviously the pump fuel compared to the race ethanol. And it actually did. I want to say it picked up like 25 horsepower switching it from the pump ethanol E85 over to the VPX98 and the one ethanol. They actually made the same amount of power between the two race ethanols compared to the pump ethanol, which was pretty cool. It was just a back-to-back comparison that we wanted to see what it would do and just to have some, some data on the different fuels. Before he had parked the car, we had talked about, switching it over to a first gen because the car did make good power at low boost, but we just, there was things that we didn't like with, like, considering the header, the intake manifold that was on it, things like that. So he wanted to make all those parts over anyways. So we figured, man, let's put a first gen head on there. We know the power that cylinder head can make. So he had taken the car apart, and then basically the car sat, which was fine. It's a lot of work, man. I mean, obviously we all know race cars is not easy. It takes a bunch of money, and it's kind of just, unnecessary money that we throw away at these cars, but we all do it because we really like it. It's just one of those things. So we did a little mock-up here. I got a first gen cylinder head on there, and I wanted to see what this all would look like. And that is an HPT 7880, which we are probably going to run. I have talked to the guys over at HPT, and probably what we think we're going to go with. They're going to give me a pretty good deal on one, so that's why I kind of mocked this up here just to see what it would all look like. This thing did have a 6870 before from Precision. Here is the turbo that it had. And this is a great turbo. Unfortunately, I don't use Precision anymore. I support the guys at HPT very much so. They support me, so that's one of the reasons. Again, it's really not the size we're looking for anyways, but I'm not going to run a car that has a Precision product when we run HPT anyways. Plus, we want to go bigger regardless. So that is for sale. And here is, again, the setup. You can see here, I won't run a turbine housing this big. This is actually a 124. This is actually the turbo for the Starlet. They gave us a brand new unit for the up and coming year. Again, thank you guys at HPT. These guys totally rock. If anybody's not running an HPT turbo, I don't know what you are waiting for. Their customer service is the best. Anybody needs anything, you let us know and we'll get you set up. Okay, so what I did here was, this is actually the header off the third gen head that was on the car. This header will not fit. I kind of got one bolt presented here just to kind of mock it up to see what everything would look like and see if I want to build a header in this same exact spot. What I'll probably do is move the collector a little bit more this way just to give me a little bit more clearance over here. The turbine housing's a little too close to the head. That way I can keep some of the heat away from the head. So it's just a good idea to mock it up, and I just, gives me some insight on as far as what I want to do. Maybe lower it a little bit. I don't think this will close. It might hit the compressor cover, so I'll probably just drop it down a tad. Before, when Danny built this car, he had a T3 on it, turbine housing. So if you look here, you could see there's a T3 turbine flange there. And what I did was I welded a T4 right on top of it because we were going to that 6870. And I mean, I think they make that in a T3. I'm not 100% sure, but regardless, we knew we wanted to go to a bigger turbo. So the bigger stuff like the 7175s, things like that, they do not make in T3, which is why I anticipated putting the T4 flange on there anyways. But we had kind of thought where this collector bottlenecked into this T3 flange was kind of hurting us on power, so that was why we had anticipated building a new header for the setup anyways. So aside from that, fast forward till today, this will probably be the only MR2 that you will ever see with a first gen head because we are crazy and that is what we like. Also, we are very eager to keep the 3S, 5S platform alive and strong. A lot of guys now I know are switching over to the 2GR V6 motor, hey, which is great. It looks like a great motor, makes good power. Some of them stock seem to be making big power, but I do not want to take away from the roots of what these cars are, you know, and basically what they were built for. So a lot of guys, obviously, I'm sure you guys know, put Honda motors in here. We want to do as much as we can with the 3S, 5S. So that is who we are. We will stick to our roots and we will keep going. What I did also was I presented this billet lower, the runner style of the intake. As you guys can see, most of the times MR2s have the intakes where they come up. I will show you. This is the intake that was on the car before. So you can see how it takes that rise up. So we don't want to do that. That is not, you know, the intake we have now. So the only crappy part is I'm gonna have to cut into this trunk, which I know a lot of guys do. In a perfect world, I wish it would have been a little higher to cut more into this part of the trunk, but I don't know. What I'm probably gonna do is angle the intake plenum a little higher, but regardless anyways, inside of the trunk, if you look in here, there's nothing really there anyways. So this is all tin, so I'll move this, probably move the MSD. Actually, the MSD will probably clear if I just trim this panel and then cut a hole out and then put the intake in here, cut out where the throttle body is going to go over here. I need to clean up all this wiring anyways. This is something we did a long time ago. I want to remodify all this stuff back here. So this will probably stay. I just have to clearance for the intake manifold there. Here is the water tank for the air to water intercooler that the car had before. So the air to water intercooler used to sit in this area before. I believe it used these 3 bolts to support it up here. I have to see how I can fit all this. You know, that's there's not a lot of space in these cars. Regardless, again, I want to clean all this up, make it look good. Clean up the wiring here. We used to run just a factory coil before. Probably do something there. I obviously have to do something with all this here because it's right in the way of the plenum, and where that's going to go into the trunk section. Yeah, so whatever, regardless, there's some work that needs to be done, but at least I have a really good idea of how this is going to look. I want to get some cool air, so I want this pipe to obviously route down there, you know, where the MR2s pull in a lot of fresh air through here. So luckily, we have all these parts as well, so we have everything to build the header. This is the header flange, you know, 1/2-inch stainless, all the runners, the collectors here, you know, T4 flange. I want to say this might be for a T3, but I'll have to cut that back. But we have all these parts. We have everything for the downpipe. It'll be a 4-inch exhaust now compared to what it had before. Here's all the intercooler piping to make all of that. All of that is here. So we have a good collection of parts to start moving ahead once I figure out exactly where everything is going to go, and which is why I'm kind of presenting this now, just so I have a very good mock-up on what we're going to do. I'm not sure if I showed you guys this before, but we did put the gas tank up front. It does have a water radiator up here that cools the water for the intercooler that will be in the trunk. So this is a pretty good tank. It has 2 Weldon inline fuel pumps. So I think that should be enough. It's got two 1100As. Hopefully they can support, you know, the power that we want to push. For now, not going to go too crazy. My biggest thing is to get this thing running back on the road with the first gen setup. And then basically run low boost and see what we can get out of it. Just on low boost with the bigger turbo. I wanted to put a dry sump in here. We did get a pump when we got the car from Danny. Again, that's just something that needs to be figured out down the road. First and foremost, I was going to do all that. I even have a set of HD pistons. I'm not going to do any of that right now. My biggest plan is to just get it going, get it running with this setup, finalize all the plumbing, header, like I said, clean up all the wiring, do all that stuff first, and then later, when there's more time, after I get, you know, my car done and all the other projects I have going on, take it apart and then put the dry sump in it and then try and push the power. So that's the plan with the MR2. I haven't done an update in a really long time, and I wanted to keep you guys posted because this thing always is on the, you know, the top of our head on what we want to do, and try and, you know, just move along with these projects that we have. So I have some more updates coming on our Drag A86. We got some parts in from that. I will show you guys coming next week, and keep you guys posted. Also the brown Corolla, some aluminum material in. I want to start mounting the intercooler, getting that stuff done as well. So keep you guys updated. Next will be, like I said, also to start it. I know we haven't put much info about that as well. We're waiting on a clutch. The clutch disc were back ordered, and that kind of messed us up. I will call Clutch Masters this week so we can get that thing going, because we will be testing it, and I will keep you guys posted when that is. So, all right, guys, I hope everybody has a good week, and I will talk to everybody soon. Take care.